Don't you wish computers weren't so expensive? Well, maybe they don't have to be. Today I want to talk to you about building a budget gaming PC. Okay, let's go for this. Welcome. I've been putting this off for a while, so I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. But essentially, I just want to make a little video about a budget computer. I just want to address also the fact that I posted a few videos before about doing a sleeper build. I still want to do that, but things just got busy with school and that got put on the back burner for a little bit. But I have some good things that hopefully will be exciting. But today I just want to talk about a computer that I built. It's really crazy what kind of a deal you can get with just a little bit of money. So if you're looking for the deals, if you know the market around your city, and if you know like the market for computer components, a lot of the time you can pick up some pretty cheap things that'll play games well for you or do other things really well for you. And you don't have to spend a lot. I used to be under the impression that you need to drop $1,000 on a computer to be able to actually build one that was usable and something that you wanted. But me being somebody that's pretty frugal and likes to get those good deals, I found through doing some research that you can actually get something that will work really well for you for the time being if you only have even a couple $100s. So today I just want to go through something that I recently built and kind of tell you about it. So to start off with, a couple weeks ago I saw a listing for a computer. Had an older i5 in it. The listing said that it was a third generation i5, so I think it was an i5 3500 or something like that, 3550, which seemed good to me for the price. It was $40 for a computer that had everything except the hard drive. The hard drive wasn't working. So I messaged them. I picked that up in working condition. Everything worked. But when I got it home, it turned out it actually had an i5 4570 in it. So I got a 4th gen i5, 8 gigs of RAM, a 500 watt power supply, and a broken 500 gig hard drive. And then like obviously the case and that kind of stuff came along with it for $40. And I was like, well, this seems like a good starting point. After I found that case, I figured I want to make this into a build and make it super cheap. So a couple months back, I'd picked up a 250 gig SSD from somebody that I was buying a different graphics card from, and they gave it to me for like $20. So I took that, and then for the graphics card, I was just searching around, and right now it still seems like really good budget GPUs are sitting around the RX 470s, RX 480s, RX 570s, RX 580s. Those will give you really good performance. You can get those on eBay from anywhere from like $60 to like $130. So in looking at that, I started looking at my local classifieds and found an RX 470, an MSI Gaming X RX 470 for $70. After getting the graphics card, I saw some deals on Newegg for cases, so I picked up a Deepcool Matrix 30. I also added some budget RGB fans that I found on Amazon, and along with that, added 8 gigs of RAM. And all of this I did for under $200. So it's a good-looking computer that also works well, and plays the games that you want for the things that I want to do. It works perfect. Like Overwatch, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, even things like Apex Legends will run just fine on this. When I say that this computer plays games just fine, I mean that this computer plays games really good. For me, I was looking at over 100 frames per second in most of these games on higher settings for the price point of $170 or $190 with a nice case and some fancy fans. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any recording of the games. I ended up selling the computer too fast. But if you're interested in maybe seeing some benchmarks, I can link a couple videos in the description that just show some gaming benchmarks with an RX 470 or 570 and this processor. That should give you a rough estimate for what you'd be looking at. I also want to just go through a price breakdown. So starting off with our motherboard, our processor, and 8 gigs of RAM, we spent $40 on that. Then for another 8 gigs of RAM, I spent $10 at a surplus sale. Then for the SSD, we spent $20. For the RX 470, we spent $70. For the case, we spent $30. For the RGB fans, we spent $12. That comes to a total of $182. It blows my mind how much value you can get out of a computer for spending under $200. This isn't the latest and greatest. There may be some games where it doesn't maybe work as well because you don't have hyper-threading or as many cores as some of the newer processors, but you're also not spending $500-600 to get into that next tier of gaming PCs. So I feel like it's just a really good value, and that's kind of the purpose behind this. In closing, I just wanted to share with those looking to get into PC gaming or building computers that you don't have to spend a lot of money to start. And that's kind of the main purpose of this video. If you are willing to be patient, you understand the market and what parts you're looking for, and then you check classifieds and Facebook listings consistently, you'll be able to find good deals on these parts and build something that's relatively cheap. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below or subscribe. And thanks for watching.